That is, unless you're YouTuber Ruben Sim, because you're not having a pretty good Thanksgiving.
Roblox sues YouTuber Ruben Sen for temporarily shutting down the 2021 Roblox Developers Conference.
Tons of awesome creators like Flamingo, Creekcraft, whatever you want to call it, but one in particular has earned the designation of being sued by Roblox for $1.6 million in damages.
On November 23rd, 2021, Roblox filed a $1.6 million lawsuit against a YouTuber named Ruben Sim. It alleges that the creator was the leader of a cyber mob that injured both the company and its users. The document fixates on three specific arguments: his supposed targeted harassment, hacking of the game, and most seriously, issuing of terroristic threats. The suit's existence was reported by Polygon the following day, where it quickly spread across the internet.
Gonna make the very smart decision to not comment on the complaint Roblox lodged against me, because I want to make my lawyers and the court's job as easy as possible.
Beyond the massive amount they're seeking in damages, it's particularly concerning because Ruben might be innocent. His supporters argue that while the YouTuber is a troll, the vast majority of the lawsuit's claims are false. They fear that due to his reputation, Roblox may be able to convince the court of unsubstantiated allegations, potentially setting an extremely dangerous precedent. If Ruben is innocent, this opens the possibility for many edgy creators to be railroaded by companies with a vendetta against them. And he can't even really defend himself publicly, due to everything he says being under the scrutiny of the court. Because of this, I'd like to go through all of the currently available evidence to try and figure out the truth, and uncover if Roblox made their $1.6 million mistake. Ruben Sim, real name Benjamin Simon, has made himself quite the target. Unlike other creators, he has an offensive style of comedy and is not afraid to criticize the game. Throughout 2015, he ran a series called Roblox Watch, where he ridiculed various members of the moderation team. His most infamous outing was a video about Noble Dragon, where he exposed the admin for following a furry porn artist on Twitter. Following the video's release, Ruben's account was terminated, which was later escalated to an IP ban.
And they banned every single account that I created just because it was mine.
Despite this, he continued to grow a loyal audience as he found ways to evade his hard ban. In 2019, he created the extremely popular Runker 51 game, based on the then trending Storm Area 51 meme. It has since gone on to receive over 12 million visits. Today, his channel sits above 700,000 subscribers, meaning that even if they wanted to, his antics couldn't be ignored. Because of this, it seems like staff instead turned a blind eye to his indefinite suspension, as if an unspoken probation. This would all change in the fall of this year. Roblox recently began to make efforts to implement voice chat functionality. On September 3rd, an early version was made available to their top developers, which meant Ruben was also given access. 2 days later, he uploaded a video of himself using it to swear at admins, clearly breaking their rules and guidelines.
Yo, there's cussing on Roblox now. Fuck yeah!
Following this, every account in his possession was banned, including the one that he used for developing his games. In light of their new stance, the hashtag #FreeRubenSim spread, pleading for Roblox's staff to forgive the creator. Many pointed out the clear hypocrisy in punishing him, as other users had been caught in his video saying things of similar nature. The ban was never revoked. Ruben uploaded his own video, highlighting just how much of a vendetta the larger community had against him.
Just got every single dumbass alt account on his Roblox terminated. On the 12th of this month at 8 p.m. Pacific, I will be hosting a celebration call on VC. We're going to get drunk and stoned, and you're all invited. Cheers to the fall of the Marvel supervillain equivalent of Roblox. Wow, this is just like my Marvel movies.
It's clear that people hated him and the audience he'd cultivated. But, more importantly, certain staff members had clear personal vendettas against Ruben. If Roblox wanted to make an example out of anyone who represented the undesirable parts of their fanbase, who better to target than him? I personally posted a video to my alternate YouTube account just a few hours ago, where I basically defended Ruben and made the case that his his persecution in the courts was unjust. After all, he was just trolling. He made some dumb jokes. Right? Ruben has an edgy sense of humor, and he may take his criticisms too far, but this whole case is just to make him look bad. If this case goes in Roblox's favor, it's going to signal a shift in the liberty of users in online spaces. Ruben Sim didn't break any genuine laws. He broke online terms. This case could literally become a landmark. How far can repercussions go in the real world for online behavior? There is a lot more to this case that the general public is kind of ignoring. With that being said, let's look at the actual lawsuit. As mentioned before, there are 3 main claims made against Ruben. In reading the document, it's clear that the sections regarding harassment and hacking coincide with each other, so I'll address them at the same time. The section on Ruben's termination for harassment and lewd conduct begins with the following. Ruben was originally terminated from the Roblox platform for repeatedly using racial and homophobic slurs and profanity, engaging in sexual conversation, and uploading inappropriate lewd content. There are some pretty weak examples in this list, like him circumventing chat filters to say slurs, uploading pictures of Adolf Hitler, and trying to register names like Cock Assassin and 69dev69. Keck. These are pretty excusable and don't seem to be anything that warrants legal action, but then there are more questionable allegations. They claim that Ruben attempted to upload a sex game, as well as an image of himself naked with just a lampshade covering his dick. Given that this image has never been made public, I wonder how they were able to confirm it was actually him or just a picture he found online. The next 2 sections regard his alleged targeted harassment of various Roblox staff members. They claim that he impersonated Roblox employees online and other forums in a manner targeted to permanently injure their reputation in the public eye with false portrayals and statements. I'm not sure if this is in reference to him misattributing quotes to them, but if so, this could potentially be defended as satire. It seems possible given their description of libelous statements he made about the company's founder.
Real incidents that happen with Roblox, and I would add elements of fiction to them to make them funny. So like an example would be back when tickets were removed, I had this segment that described the facts of what was going on, and then I totally made up this speech that David made at a fake press conference where he was explaining how to be evil and how he totally fooled his stupid customers.
Ruben Sim repeatedly posts libelous statements about Roblox's founder and CEO, attributing false statements and conduct to the CEO that defendant Simon knows to be false, and which he makes with intent to cause injury to the reputation of the CEO and of Roblox. Many of the people he ridicules are public figures, making the bar for defamation much more difficult. They'd have to argue that the people reading his jokes took them seriously and not as satire. I think the most damning allegation from this section is the claim that Ruben photoshopped pictures of an openly gay employee over pornography to harass him on Twitter. It's difficult to determine the validity of some of these, because it seems they're discussing behavior that spanned over years. The defense I've seen is that Ruben is being blamed for things his supposed cybermob has done. If that's the case, the cumulative picture they've painted may not be accurate, but time will tell in that regard, as we'll likely see any evidence they've collected as the suit continues. The section on his termination ends by concluding, as a result of all of the above conduct, defendant Simon was permanently banned from accessing the Roblox platform. I mentioned before that this section and the one about his hacking coincide with each other. That's because those claims primarily serve as the contextual basis, with his hacking regarding his years of ban evasions. Defendant Simon is aware and has repeatedly acknowledged in writing that he has been permanently banned from accessing the Roblox platform. He has also acknowledged that Roblox has employed numerous technological barriers to block him from accessing the Roblox platform. More than 20 accounts have been terminated by Roblox after they were detected as being created or used by defendant Simon without authorization. He continues to create and solicit others to create new accounts for his use so that he can access Roblox without authorization. This is something Ruben cannot deny at all. It's pointed out by Roblox's lawyers, but he readily admits to making alt accounts, actively tweeting about using VPNs, and admitting in videos that he's using a virtual computer. In 2013, it was ruled by a federal judge that avoiding an IP address block to connect to a website complaint was a breach of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. The case concerned a data scraping company concealing its identity to continue pulling from Craigslist after being blocked. This case also occurred in California, the same state Roblox's lawsuit was filed in. Its precedent seems to hold dangerous implications for Ruben. It could broadly be interpreted as restricting the use of VPNs and Tor. I think almost everyone has ban-evaded before, from an unjust suspension on Twitter to making a new account for a game you cheated in as a kid. This precedent seems a bit dystopian, but it's also worth pointing out how unlikely it is for the average person to be targeted. The case from 2013 was regarding, once again, a data collection business. In the same way that you probably won't be fined hundreds of thousands of dollars for pirating movies, unless you cause a huge problem, you're unlikely to be brought to court over this. And unfortunately, that's also where Ruben differs from the average user. I already mentioned before that he's made himself quite the target to Roblox, but they claim that due to extensive measures he takes to continue playing their game, they have expended resources estimated to be over 100 grand to investigate and block him from accessing the platform. Even still, the idea of filing a lawsuit this big for ban evasion seems extreme. Ruben had been officially banned for years and they'd continued to let him develop games. Successful ones. It's unlikely that even with all of these expenditures, had it not been for the most serious claim, this paperwork would have ever been filed. Now that we've covered the other two sections in the document, it's time to finally tackle the most severe. Let's talk about the allegations of threats. The Roblox Developer Conference is an annual event in which the community's top contributors are invited to discuss the game's future. It usually lasts only 2 days, and was held this year from October 14th to the 16th. It seemed to be going well for the most part, until the last day, when organizers were informed of terroristic threats being made against them. The conference was subsequently shut down for several hours, as the police arrived to conduct searches on the bags of attendees. Thankfully, there was no actual danger present. However, it led many to question where the rumors had come from in the first place. 30 days later, Roblox would put forward their answer, that the threats had allegedly been made by Ruben Sim. This section, titled Defendant Simon's Terrorist Threats, prefaces that the issue is not with Ruben alone, but his fans, who, as they say, echo his conduct and harassment. Before and during the conference, Ruben Sim and his cyber mob posted numerous derogatory and defamatory statements online about Roblox, its employees, and the conference, designed to deter and intimidate conference goers. In the days leading up to RDC 2021, Defendant Simon engaged his followers on Discord, glamorizing the April 3rd, 2018 active shooter at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California, and threatening/taunting a copycat act of terrorism at Roblox headquarters nearby in San Mateo, California. Defendant Ruben wrote to his followers, "Wait until someone does this to Roblox." Quick side note, the brackets here are rather misleading. Ruben was not glorifying this hypothetical person, explicitly describing them as some schizophrenic incel developer. By no means was this a threat, nor did it taunt them. Then, during RDC 2021, Ruben Sim publicly posted a threat to his Twitter account, knowing that the threat was false. In quotations, "Breaking! San Francisco police are currently searching for notorious Islamic extremist Julius Al-Muhammad. If you see this individual at RDC, please call 911 immediately." Defendant Simon posted an image below this text purporting to depict the fictitious Islamic extremist as having posted a YouTube video titled, "Someone blow up Roblox now." Ruben Sim made related posts, including, "Don't come to RDC tomorrow." Ruben Sim knew this information to be false and intended it to disrupt RDC 2021 and to intimidate and deter Roblox employees, users, and vendors from attending the conference. Defendant Simon's followers in this cyber mob copied his actions and posted threatening messages of their own, including purported posts from would-be active shooters and others. For example, "Too bad someone didn't recreate Christchurch at RDC." One follower even claimed to have poisoned the drinks offered at RDC 2021. Defendant Simon's false threats had their intended effect. People reported that they thought there was an actual shooting and stayed away from RDC 2021 when they saw Ruben's false posts. Even worse, RDC was forced into a temporary lockdown. Roblox was forced to incur expenses of more than $50,000 to secure the conference and investigate the incident. So that was pretty wordy. But here's where a lot of the difficulties come in. Due to making a lot of risky tweets in general, Ruben has a habit of deleting his entire timeline. Because of this, it's difficult to verify each statement. It's been claimed by supporters that Ruben is being framed by Roblox, who are misattributing quotes from his followers. The quote regarding a copycat shooter is still available online. It doesn't even have any likes. If the described tweets he made aren't real, then should he really be held responsible for the things other people said? Does Roblox actually think he can be held culpable? Or are they using previous grievances to pin him for statements others said to him? Mere hours after word of the lawsuit broke, a user by the name of LordGotto4 came forward. They write, "I've got no affiliation with real Ruben Sim. It's appalling how he has been dragged into this for no apparent reason other than for the facts that he rightfully criticizes Roblox's moderation. I'm fully responsible for the shooting threat, despite it obviously being satire." The issue with statements like this is that it's not obvious satire to Roblox. As someone who's been in a similar position, I promise you, it's only obvious satire to you. And upon further investigation, this seems to be a match. This screenshot shows a deleted tweet the account made on October 16th, 2021 at 6:16 a.m. It shows a picture of a gun over a Roblox t-shirt with the caption, "Don't go to RDC Day 3 tomorrow." Looking through their timeline shows other tweets that coincide with this, where he jokes about having been imprisoned. So, okay, maybe these tweets aren't as obvious and clear-cut, satire as this guy would have us believe, but they're not from Ruben. He did not post these. So there it is, right? Ruben is innocent. Well, not exactly. While many people took this as confirmation that the alleged tweet Ruben made was actually by Lord Gatto, this is not the case. The tweet that Roblox cites does exist and was sent on October 14th at 5:41 p.m. Ruben had been following developments from the event and live tweeting to his followers. Incidentally, Lord Gatto was one of them, with other posts mocking Ruben's arch nemesis, Noble Dragon. The suit's specific allegation is not that he made these threats himself, but encouraged others to do so in addition to his own. As for what I've seen, it's not like he had no involvement. Roblox does have a case. I'm extremely curious as to whether or not they have more evidence to substantiate their claim, because the document states that they invested into investigation of the incident that is factored into these speculated damages. With each individual claim, one could argue that it's not worth litigation, but when you look at the full picture, where he's costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's not like they're suing him because he criticized their game. This is a massive company that feels confident enough investing money and risking potential community backlash, suing one of their developers. Whether you think Ruben should be taken to court or not, from a legal standpoint, Roblox is somewhat justified. I like Ruben Sim, and I like his content, so this is a situation I almost feel bad reporting on. I've done similarly stupid things online. I have a similar sense of humor to him, so I can sympathize with the situation. But it's not like this came out of nowhere. Whether the trial will go in favor of Roblox or Ruben is not up to me, and it's not up to you. It's up to the courts. But given the tweets that I presented here, I would say that he should look into hiring a really good fucking lawyer. I would wish him luck, but I don't know how far that will go. I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.